Why am I still wearing dirty clothes?
You know, it became clear when you start living with the character that this guy isn't interested in trends or fashion or even looking good for anyone.
Listen, I'll put on whatever you want.
He's completely uninterested in fitting into society. That was something that the clothes should say the minute you meet him. But you know, if you lived forever, you wouldn't care about clothes. They would become so superficial, something you just kind of did but barely. Till they start falling off you, they're good.
And then whatever eagle we put on there, it's got to match the eagle that we put on his old hat.
Why do you have an eagle on your hat?
Pete wanted an obsession with eagles. So he has a little eagle necklace. He's got it on his hat. He's got it in some of the prints of his clothes. He wanted it to be a real tough, flying creature. This is the best one. This is the best one.
You know, we can talk about it and the prep stage of the film and look at a bunch of reference photos and anything else we can to inspire us visually. And then we go.
Pete was pretty adamant from the beginning about Hancock not wearing spandex. And no cape. No cape, no spandex. So no underwear on the outside of the tights. I like that it's sort of abstract. There's a bird, but it's not screaming at you. We can make it screaming too.
Yeah, the superhero suits, I think, always take a little, longer. I think you come up with a concept.
I tried only to hint at it. I didn't try to nail it down too much because I figured no matter what I came up with on the page, there'd be a very talented costume designer who would come up with something way better than anything I could figure out.
Touch of red going around. You know what I mean? Just black with it, and then you turn them around and it's boom. I mean, this would be good, man.
I think Pete and Will and everybody talked about having a, some kind of a leather suit in a darker color. So, we started out with some black samples and some dark blue samples. Once you sort of settle on what the look is and the texture and the matte versus shiny, and then you can get into the sculpting and the shape of it, and you make some prototypes, and eventually you put the detail on it, which was the eagle, and yeah, it's a bit of a process. So it takes several months to get that figured out.
That part of the process was important. A lot of that, I will say, Michael and Pete had a lot to do with the costume.
We wanted it to be what we wanted to see. And what we wanted to see, what I'm attracted to see, is things that break the mold, that are new.
We were trying to find a superhero suit for Will that was superhero-y, but not too flashy.
When they call a hero's what we're gonna give them.
How are we gonna do that, Ray?
I guess it sort of evolved into something that would look tough and practical, and specifically something that Ray could have made for him.
For when they call.
Ray, who really believes in his client with all of his heart and soul, is having Taylor make this suit for Hancock.
I ain't wearing that, Ray.
Yes, you are.
Out of his love for his client, trying to make him lovable.
I will fight crime butt-ass naked before I fight it in that, Ray.
You have fought naked. We've got that. That's on YouTube.
Ray convinces me to wear a costume.
A little superhero, something clingy.
It's not spandex, it's form fit, and there's a difference.
Because, again, it's Will Smith, and let's not waste the money on not seeing the body. Because there is a premium for that.
Say it one more time.
It's kind of like Blue Steel, just better.
Uh-huh.
He convinces me that people need to see you in a costume. A police officer wears a police outfit. A doctor wears a doctor's coat. What it is that shows people your commitment to your job. All right, so I put this thing on. What? It's a little tight. What you got? So it sort of confines the movement a little bit.
I thought that a superhero who's moving so quickly should probably be dressed head to toe in caution yellow. I mean, he's a menace, really. But we compromised, and it's just a little caution yellow detail.
I think something that caught us all by surprise is the number of costumes
that Hancock wears in this movie. You know, he doesn't have just a cape and tights. He goes out and performs his heroic actions in whatever he's wearing, whether it's the hoodie and the shorts, you know, a pullover poncho, a suit jacket and slacks. So suddenly, what I think surprised everyone is now we have 9 different costumes that we have to build for this guy, not just the one that a normal superhero has.
Kids, soft focus, dirty, filthy, all the way over onto them.
Pete has created this kind of super saturation of color, which you can see in the actual film. There's a kind of very naturalistic shooting tone that he's using, very handheld, which then marries a kind of slightly hyperbolic color saturation. It's a really interesting look. And so the costumes are sort of designed to try to fit in that world.
I've never seen a film like Hancock kind of shot in that style.
Ray, what happened to the car?
Charlize is trying to fit into her world, certainly not look homeless and look like she was a good mother.
You like meatballs?
No, honey, I'm sure he has a lot of stuff he needs to go.
She wants clothes to say something about her, but something very different.
And that style worked so incredibly well for her.
We tried to give her a super classic look that sort of isn't about nothing that's fashiony. So what you're really seeing is her character and who she is instead of getting distracted by her handbag. Putting together a superhero suit.
Didn't plan for this.
This isn't something she's really planning for. So it's dark jeans, it's boots that she could have had, you know, pieces she could have had. A black t-shirt. Really, it's very simple, you know, there's nothing to it, really.
Reset one more time.
She doesn't have a costume, she just has a superhero look. So, yeah, there was a lot of talk about sort of how much is too much.
Obviously, very intentional change. Her hair changes, the makeup changes, the outfit changes. All of a sudden, she's in 4-inch heels. You know, I mean, this isn't the girl in the hippie sandals anymore.
Hi, honey. Breakfast?
Jason and I worked together, so this was the first time I got to dress him like a real, you know, real hot, sexy, contemporary man, which wasn't hard to do. Peter wanted red to always have some red. He wanted it to be really about these characters and these pops of color.
Come on! He had a red cravat, because he always wears something red. So like this hat. He's a complete egomaniac. He won't rob a bank without having a certain look, and he won't kill somebody without looking good while he's killing them. And that's what's funny about him.
You know where he got his name.
Okay, Weeze, get him dressed and start shooting.
I mean, the great thing about Peter is that his mind is always working and he's not complacent. He pays attention to everything. And having a director like that is, I mean, that's gold, you know?
Child, what's happening?